start focusing on your own progress. Life isn't a race where you compete for the same finish line. It's a personal journey designed uniquely for you. What God put inside you isn't meant to look like what He gave someone else. When you start comparing your journey to others, you rob yourself of peace. You start doubting your own steps, thinking maybe you are not doing enough. But the truth is, you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. Every person's story unfolds differently. Some people get their blessings early, others get them later, but that doesn't mean one is better than the other. Stop trying to match someone else's timing when your clock is set differently. You are not behind, you are being prepared. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment is part of your personal training. Have you ever seen runners in a marathon? Each one moves at their own rhythm. Some sprint, some jog, some even walk, but all of them cross that finish line eventually. Life works the same way. You might not move like others, but that doesn't mean you are losing. It just means your pace is part of your purpose. Stop looking left and right, look forward and run your lane. You can't win your race if your eyes are on somebody else's track. You will trip, stumble, and fall every time you try to copy their stride. Focus on your journey and remember what's meant for you cannot miss you. Your purpose doesn't shrink because someone else succeeded first. The finish line isn't about who got there fastest, it's about who stayed faithful until the end. The more you focus on others, the more you lose sight of your own progress. You might not even notice how far you have come because you are too busy watching how far they have gone. Turn your focus back on you. Reflect on where you started, what you have overcome, and how much stronger you have become. That's your race, and it's worth running with everything you have got. It's not about who's ahead, it's about who's becoming stronger. It's not about who has more, it's about who's staying consistent. Don't let comparison make you forget that you are growing too. Every small victory counts. Every day you keep going is proof that you are still in the race. Your story is still unfolding. You haven't seen your full potential yet. So stop worrying about who's in front or behind. Run your race, stay focused, and trust that every step forward is part of something bigger being built in your life. The moment you start comparing, you start losing belief in yourself. You start questioning your own worth and doubting your ability to make it. You look at others and think, they are better than me, but you forget you have something powerful they don't. Confidence doesn't come from comparing yourself, it comes from knowing your own value. When you know who you are, you stop letting other people's success shake your faith. Social media made this worse. Everyone posts their highlight reel. Vacations, cars, happy moments. And you sit there thinking you are falling behind. But they don't show you their pain, their sleepless nights, or the fear they battle in silence. You are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's final cut, and that's not fair to you. You are doing better than you think. When you compare, you give your power away. You let someone else define how successful you feel, but when you focus on your own journey, your confidence grows from the inside. It's not built on validation or likes, it's built on progress, on effort, on discipline. Real confidence comes from knowing you are improving, even when no one claps for you. You were created to stand out, not blend in. The world doesn't need another copy, it needs your originality. Stop trying to mimic someone else's greatness and start living your own truth. The more authentic you become, the more confident you will feel. You can't build self-belief pretending to be someone else. Be you fully and proudly. Confidence is built through challenges. Every time you overcome fear, every time you keep going when it's hard, your confidence grows. Stop comparing your start to someone's middle. They didn't start perfectly. They started scared just like you. You are just at a different point in the process. Give yourself time to grow. You can't grow and compare at the same time. One will always kill the other. Choose growth, choose confidence. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, remind yourself that you are doing something most people never do. You are trying. And that alone is something to be proud of. You have to believe in your potential before anyone else does. The moment you start valuing yourself, comparison loses its grip. You were born with purpose. You were born to shine. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you are not enough. And that's a lie. You are enough right now, just as you are. Stop thinking success has an expiration date. It doesn't matter if it takes you longer than others. As long as you don't quit, you will get there. Some people find success in their 20s, others in their 40s, and some in their 60s. There's no wrong time to win. The problem is we think if we don't make it early, we won't make it at all. That's a lie. Every story unfolds differently. Your life is not a stopwatch. You don't need to rush your growth just because someone else hit their peak early. Sometimes God delays your success to protect your future. He knows when you are ready. He knows when your character matches your calling. If He gave you everything right now, it might destroy you instead of developing you. Timing is everything. Stop rushing what's meant to take time. The seed doesn't bloom overnight. The foundation of greatness takes patience and endurance. You can't microwave purpose. You got to let it marinate. Every lesson, every delay, every closed door is building you into the person who can handle what's coming next. Don't look at someone's chapter 20 when you are on chapter 5. You are still being written. You are still developing. Your story isn't less powerful just because it's not finished yet. Sometimes the people who take longer end up lasting longer because they have learned how to survive storms others never faced. Your timeline is sacred. You are not missing out. You are being molded. The longer it takes, the more complete you will be when you arrive. While others are sprinting, you are learning endurance. While others chase speed, you are building strength. Fast success fades. Steady success stays. Success isn't about how fast you get there. It's about how solid you are when you arrive. You don't want to reach the top and fall back down because you weren't ready. Trust the process that's taking its time to build you right. Every delay is divine preparation. There's no deadline on destiny. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time for the story that was written for you before you were even born. Keep moving, keep believing, and let time do its work on you. You can't control how others live, how fast they grow, or how much they achieve, but you can control how hard you work and how much you believe. You can control your focus, your attitude, and your discipline. That's where your real power lies. The moment you focus on what you can control, your life starts shifting in the right direction. Comparison makes you chase what doesn't belong to you. You start copying goals that don't even align with your purpose. You start fighting battles that aren't even yours. But when you focus on what's in your hands, your peace returns. You realize you are not behind. You are just busy working your lane. That's how real progress happens. Quietly, consistently, intentionally. You can't control other people's blessings, but you can control your effort. You can control whether you show up or not. You can control how you respond when life gets tough. Every time you choose focus over frustration, you move closer to your breakthrough. You are not powerless. You just have to redirect your energy. When you waste time comparing, you lose time creating. Energy spent on jealousy is energy stolen from your growth. Pour that energy into your vision, your goals, your purpose. Water your own garden and watch it bloom. Don't let someone else's highlight distract you from your hustle. You can't control the results, but you can control the grind. You can't force outcomes, but you can choose consistency. That's how winners are made, not by luck, but by focus. Every day you give your best, even when it doesn't feel like enough, you are building something valuable within yourself. When you focus on what's in your hands, you stop stressing about what's out of reach. You find peace in the process. You realize that progress doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. You are growing even when it's not visible yet. Stay focused on what you can do today and let tomorrow take care of itself. Control your energy, your thoughts, and your attitude. Those three things can shift your entire life. The more you focus on what you can control, the stronger you become. You start walking with purpose instead of pressure. You start building peace instead of panic. That's when you truly start living your own life. Distraction is one of the most dangerous traps in life because it doesn't look like a trap. It looks like entertainment. It looks like comfort. It looks like scrolling on your phone for 5 minutes that turns into an hour. That's how the enemy works. He doesn't always attack you with destruction. Sometimes he attacks you with distraction. He'll keep your mind busy with other people's lives, so you never focus on your own. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you if he can just keep you too distracted to grow. When you start comparing yourself to others, you are stepping right into that distraction. You are taking your eyes off your purpose and putting them on something that doesn't even belong to you. You start measuring your worth by someone else's progress. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. Because the moment you stop focusing on your path, you lose direction. You can't hear God's voice clearly when your mind is filled with noise. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It looks harmless, but it slowly eats away your focus. Every time you are close to your breakthrough, a distraction shows up. Have you ever noticed that? Right when you decide to commit, to grind harder, to pray more, something always comes up to pull your attention away. It might be gossip, it might be comparison, it might be self-doubt, but it's always designed to shift your focus. That's because focus is power. The more you stay focused on your mission, the harder it becomes for the enemy to pull you off track. The battle isn't always about good versus evil. Sometimes it's focus versus distraction. Distraction can come dressed as opportunity. Not every open door is meant for you. Some things look good but lead you nowhere. You got to pray for discernment to know what's truly for you and what's just a shiny detour. The enemy loves using temptation that feels right in the moment, but delays your purpose in the long run. That's why you need to be grounded in who you are and where you are going. When you know your purpose, you won't chase everything that glitters. The enemy will use people to distract you. He'll send folks who drain your energy, waste your time, or constantly make you doubt yourself. Some people aren't in your life to support you. They are in your life to slow you down. You got to recognize that not everyone who claps for you wants you to win. Learn to protect your peace. You don't need to attend every argument, respond to every opinion, or explain yourself to people who were never meant to understand your vision. Distraction feeds off your attention. The more you feed it, the more it grows. You have to take control of your focus and remind yourself what really matters. When you wake up, set your intention. When you work, stay locked in. When negative thoughts start creeping in, replace them with faith and gratitude. The enemy can't handle a focused mind because a focused mind sees through the lies. That's why you have to train yourself to guard your attention like your life depends on it, because it does. When you eliminate distraction, you create space for clarity. You start hearing that inner voice again, the one that tells you to keep going, the one that reminds you are capable, the one that pushes you toward purpose. The more focused you become, the louder that voice gets. The enemy doesn't stand a chance against someone who knows their mission and refuses to get sidetracked. Keep your eyes forward, your heart steady, and your spirit alert, because the moment you stay focused, that's when you start walking in real power. Every person you see standing strong today has a story filled with pain, setbacks, and moments where they almost gave up. Don't ever mistake someone's strength for luck. Strength is born in struggle. You don't become tough when life is easy. You become tough when life hits you hard and you refuse to stay down. Every trial you have faced, every disappointment, every tear you have cried, it all built something inside you that success never could. Struggle is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. The moments you felt forgotten, overlooked, or broken were not wasted. Those were the seasons where your faith was being tested and your character was being shaped. You can't build strength without resistance. Just like muscles grow under pressure, your spirit grows when life gets heavy. Every challenge you have survived has secretly been training you for something greater. The hard times are not there to destroy you. They are there to develop you. You might not realize it right now, but the pain you are going through is preparing you for doors that would have crushed you if they opened too early. You are learning endurance, patience, and resilience, the things that separate dreamers from doors. People who've never struggled don't understand what it means to fight for something. But you do. You have been through the fire, and even though it burned, it also refined you. You are not the same person you were before. You are stronger, wiser, tougher. When life gets hard, it's easy to ask, why me? But the truth is, the struggle had to be you because you are strong enough to handle it. Not everyone can walk through what you have walked through and still keep going. That pain was a reminder that you are built for more. Some people collapse under pressure, but you adapted. You learned to survive when everything said you shouldn't. That's strength, not the absence of struggle, but the decision to rise in the middle of it. You have to start seeing your struggle as a setup, not a setback. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you learn from it. Don't waste your pain. Use it. Let it fuel you. Let it sharpen you. The same storm that tried to drown you can become the wave that lifts you higher if you keep pushing. That's how winners are built, not in comfort, but in chaos. When you go through a struggle, you discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. You find strength you didn't know you had. You realize that even when everything around you falls apart, you can still stand. The things you thought would break you actually built you. That's the power of struggle. It reveals the warrior within. You might not have chosen the pain, but you can choose to let it make you better instead of bitter. Your struggle is proof that you are alive, that you are still fighting, still standing, believing. Every scar you carry tells a story of survival. Don't hide those scars. They are evidence of your strength. When life knocks you down, don't stay there. Get up and remember everything you have already overcome. The same strength that carried you through yesterday is still inside you today, ready to push you through whatever comes next. When you start living with gratitude, everything about your life begins to shift. Gratitude doesn't always change your situation, but it changes how you see it. The truth is, you can't be thankful and miserable at the same time. Gratitude forces you to focus on what's right instead of what's missing. The reason so many people walk around unhappy isn't because they don't have enough. It's because they don't recognize what they already have. You could have 100 blessings and still feel empty if you keep your eyes on what's lacking instead of what's working. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you've got to thank God you are not where you used to be. Gratitude reminds you that you are growing, even if it's slow. You may not have everything, but you have got something, breath in your lungs, strength to wake up another chance to get it right. That's more than enough to keep fighting. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's gone wrong to what's still possible. It reminds you that as long as you are breathing, you have a shot at something better. When you start counting your blessings instead of your problems, you will notice how much lighter life feels. Your energy changes. Your attitude changes. You stop feeling defeated and start feeling empowered. You stop saying, I have to, and start saying, I get to. That simple shift changes everything. You get to work on your dream. You get to learn from your mistakes. You get to grow from your pain. Gratitude turns everyday moments into opportunities to appreciate how far you have come. Gratitude doesn't mean you ignore the hard stuff. It means you choose to see the good within it. You might be in a storm, but there's still something worth thanking God for. Maybe it's the strength to endure. Maybe it's the lesson you are learning. Or maybe it's the peace that comes from knowing the storm won't last forever. When you practice gratitude in dark seasons, you take away the power of negativity. You stop feeding fear and start feeding faith. There are people out there praying for the things you take for granted every day. Somebody's praying for the job you complain about, the house you call small, or the body you say isn't perfect. Gratitude humbles you. It reminds you that what you have is a blessing, not a burden. When you stop comparing and start appreciating, peace replaces pressure. You start feeling content, not because you have got everything, but because you finally realize how much you already have. Gratitude brings joy back into your heart. It makes you see the beauty in simple things, a sunrise, a meal, a quiet moment, a hug from someone you love. You start realizing life's richness isn't found in possessions, but in perspective. Gratitude doesn't make life easier, it makes it clearer. It helps you see that even in pain, there's purpose. Even in loss, there's growth. Even in delay, there's development. Gratitude keeps your soul grounded when everything else feels uncertain. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices: complain or give thanks. One keeps you stuck, the other pushes you forward. Gratitude is power because it shifts your entire mindset. The moment you start thanking God for the little things, bigger things begin to flow into your life. The more you appreciate what you have, the more life gives you to appreciate. Gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it changes your direction. We live in a world where people chase validation like it's oxygen. Everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to be noticed. And somehow we've convinced ourselves that if the world doesn't approve, we're not enough. But here's the truth. Likes don't equal love, and followers don't equal fulfillment. You can have 1,000 people clapping for you online and still feel empty inside. Real success isn't about being seen. It's about being satisfied with who you are when nobody's watching. Too many people are living for the camera instead of their calling. They post more than they pray. They show more than they grow. They want to look successful rather than actually be successful. But what's the point of looking rich online if you are poor in peace? What's the point of getting attention if it doesn't bring you joy? You can fool the world with filters, but